Hey guys, my name is Kev and welcome back to the channel. I have been blown away recently by the Legend of Zelda series, the 3D games. I beat Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild a few years ago for the first time and kind of put them down until more recently. And then I picked up Wind Waker HD and I'm playing through Twilight Princess Wii right now. Now, before you guys come in attacking me, why am I playing the Wii version? Because I like the motion controls. I've never played Twilight Princess before, and I couldn't see a good reason not to. I even went on Reddit and asked, and basically the response I got was personal preference. They didn't say the words personal preference, but everything that they were kind of criticizing sounded like a preference. I don't like that Link is right-handed now. He was always left-handed. Or I don't like that they mirrored the map. I don't like motion controls. It's not canon. It's not the developer's original vision. But it doesn't sound like there's anything actually wrong with the game. It sounds like these are just things you just don't like about it. So I like motion controls. The same reason that I like VR. So I decided to give it a shot. And man, I am so glad I did. This game is awesome. Um, it's a very dark take on Zelda, which isn't new to me. I've dabbled in all of the 3D games a little bit, except for Twilight Princess. This is actually my first time touching Twilight Princess, where I started Skyward Sword. I think I even streamed Skyward Sword a little bit a few years ago, though I took the streams down. Um, so I dabbled a little bit in Skyward Sword. I'm gonna go back and finish it this time. I dabbled in Tears of the Kingdom, but the emulators at the time were running it so bad that I just put it down. Um, and like I said, I beat Wind Waker recently. I beat Ocarina of Time a few years back, and I beat Breath of the Wild um, a couple years back as well. And I've just come to realize that I love this series. Like, I've yet to play a bad Zelda game, at least 3D. I haven't touched a lot of the 2D ones, and even the 2D ones that I have played weren't bad. Like, I've dabbled a little bit in the original. I had Zelda 2, and that's a side scroller. I had that as a kid. My mom bought me that instead of the original, which I asked for. I've played a little bit of the Link's Awakening remake, and I've like played maybe 5 minutes of Minish Cap and like 5 minutes of one of the Oracle games. I don't even remember which one. So I'm gonna go back and I'm probably gonna play all of them, but I'm starting with 3D games, and kind of going from there. So in major 3D games is what I mean. So I'm skipping the DS titles, unless they get like a remake or something. I'm probably not even gonna bother with them. I would love to see them on the Switch too. So I'm doing that. I'm skipping those, and I'm skipping the multiplayer guys. I'm not interested in multiplayer Zelda. I might look up the stories for those. I don't know, but that's whatever. So with that said, I still have to go back. I have to beat Skyward Sword, Majora's Mask. I'm in the middle of Twilight Princess now, and Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm gonna go back and I'll finish all of those. And I might even do like a favorites list of them or whatever, rank them, because that might be fun to do in the future. But what I'm loving about Twilight Princess is just it's so dark. The story's a bit different. I love the art style. I love this realistic look to Zelda that they've never gone back to, and I wish they would. I wish when they did the remake on the 3DS for Majora's Mask that they would have taken this art style on. I know why they didn't, because people didn't want you to don't change Majora's Mask too much from the original vision, art wise. But I love this art style, and I wish Nintendo would have gone back to it. But you need a dark Zelda to do that with, and that's the only other dark, really, really dark Zelda is Majora's Mask. You have dark moments in Ocarina of Time for sure. You have dark moments in even Wind Waker. There's a couple of dark moments. I beat Wind Waker for the first time a couple weeks ago. Again, loving these games, but I love Toon Link in that aesthetic too. Like I wouldn't change Wind Waker for the life of me. Like I absolutely love that game. And it's made me realize that Zelda's becoming one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time. I love the puzzles. I love the combat. I love the stories. And even though like some of the puzzles really do frustrate me, like I used to put the reason I didn't beat them back in the day is because I would get stuck on a puzzle, especially like Ocarina and Majora. I would get stuck and I was like a teenager in high school at this point. I didn't have guides or anything, nobody to help me. I would just get stuck at a point and just say, screw it, I'm done. Now I've gone back as an adult and really kind of taken it all in, taken my time to actually try to get through this stuff. And I find it so rewarding when you do. I'm really having a blast with these games. So that's kind of my New Year's resolution for gaming right now, is to finish, like I said, those mainline 3D Zeldas. My favorite parts of Twilight Princess right now, I just got to Death Mountain, so I'm still pretty early in the game. I love the motion controls. I know people say, hey, I want to sit down with a regular controller, which you kind of can do, and most of the attacks have been mapped to the A button, and you can just use your analog stick to push whatever. I still like swinging the Wiimote. Just a preference of mine. I actually like that actual movement, and I wish they would bring that back in more Zelda games, not just the Skyward Sword remake. But it would be cool if I could do that, say in like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I could take the Joy-Cons and swing those around like I did a Wiimote. That would actually be really cool. But the option isn't there because I think enough people didn't like it. So I wish they would bring that back because that's actually a really fun mechanic. Not crazy about Wolf Link. Like, Wolf Link is cool. It's very refreshing to, get away from playing as like normal Link. But I actually really like playing as Link in this game. So that's kind of crazy to me too. It's still not my favorite Zelda, but it's definitely not one I hate. Ocarina, if I were to rank them right now, and keep in mind I'm so early in the game that it's not even fair to judge Twilight Princess. But if I were to judge the based on the games that I've beaten, Ocarina is still the top for me. Followed probably by Wind Waker, though I absolutely love Breath of the Wild too. Then Breath of the Wild, and then Twilight Princess, only because I'm so early in there. If I were to say this was the end of the game, and just basing it on mechanics, I would probably put Twilight Princess over Breath of the Wild. And I'd maybe even consider putting it over Wind Waker, but it's hard. I absolutely love Wind Waker, so that's really hard for me. Like that's actually probably going to go down as one of my favorite games of all time when it's all said and done. But going back and playing some of these older titles, because I'm not really happy with the new AAA games very much. Well, not with a lot of them anyway, especially the Western stuff. I'm loving the Japanese stuff, especially the JRPGs, stuff like Persona, Metaphor, Refantasio, loving those games. But the Western RPGs and stuff like that, not really doing it for me right now. Starfield, while I enjoyed it, I think did leave a lot to be desired. I skipped Dragon Age: The Veilguard because I did not like any of the changes I was seeing in the marketing, and then the reviews turned me off even more on it. They're retconning things. I didn't like Tosh, but even beyond that, like even if we don't even go there on like the political stuff, I didn't like how they changed the combat. I don't like the new art style. I hated what they did with stats and armor and Inquisition, and they doubled down on that in Veilguard. I didn't like the writing that I saw. Like, there was, to me, the only redeeming quality of it is that it was a Dragon Age game, so I skipped that. And I'm glad I did, because I found another series that I can love in its place. In another game, even if you count Metaphor Fantasio, which is what I played instead, that game is phenomenal. Play Metaphor if you haven't already. I put about 130 hours into that thing in one playthrough. Amazing game. Totally worth it. But going back to Zelda, I don't think there's anything that I can say really negative about the game so far, outside of I'm not crazy about Wolf Link. I know a lot of people say the puzzles are really easy, and I agree they're easier than what I've experienced with the other Zeldas, and I don't know if it's because this is my fourth 3D Zelda that I plan to complete, or if it's the fact that I've dabbled in like all 7 of them, and now I'm just used to Zelda puzzles, even though I didn't beat quite a few of them yet. I don't know. But we're going to see. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you guys kind of down on new AAA games like I am? Have you gone through the Zelda series, and do you love it? Do you have a particular favorite Zelda game? Let me know in the comments below. Hell, you can even chime in about your feelings on the GameCube versus the Wii version versus the Wii U version of Twilight Princess HD. I want to know what you guys think. Talk to me in the comments below. Of course, I'll talk to you guys next time, and thanks for watching.